So here I would like to introduce you with histograms. Like, what are the histograms? Anyone have any idea what are the histograms? Okay. Uh, these are some addition.
Prashant, I think whatever I know, histograms is a more granular statistics. It's called histogram, more or less a distribution of the data. Let's say how many unique value, and based of that, it will create the buckets. That is histogram.
Absolutely, absolutely correct, Somnath. Yes, that's the perfect definition of an histogram. So by default, the optimizer thinks that the data is uniformly distributed, but if it's not, for example, gender, country, and specific base column, then the optimizer can compute correct estimations without additional information. So providing histogram information to the optimizer, then chances are there you'll get the correct estimated cost calculations for your execution paths or execution steps, right? And you'll get the optimal plan for your SQLs, right? So uh, data skewness is what we call, right? So data skew in a column can make it very difficult for the optimizer to get the exact or the perfect estimation of the cardinality of an operation. So then histograms comes into the picture, and it helps CVU to make a good decision to pick the uh, optimal plan, right? So there are certain, I will not, because this is a very important and a broad topic, so I will not spend much time. I'll spend only 2 minutes, next 2 minutes, explaining about histogram types and all. So frequency histograms are what? I mean, these gets created when the number of distinct values or the NDV, we already know NDV, what the NDV is, right? We just covered in 10053 trace. So when the number of distinct values NDV for the column is less than or equal to the number of histogram buckets, the default is, by the way, 254. Then that means each distinct value can be represented by its own bucket. So for example, if you go with a default statistics collection, right, where you're not passing in any method OPT or anything, right? So then automatically frequency histograms gets created. Next type is height balanced histograms, right? So in uh, if you are running on version that is older than 12C, then you see when there were more distinct column values than the number of histogram buckets, a high balanced histogram was created, right? So, but starting from 12C, if you mention or explicit sampling you use like estimate underscore percent with 20, 40, 50%, then these frequency, sorry, this height based histograms gets created. And starting from 12C, two new types of histograms were added. The first is the top frequency histogram, and the second one is the hybrid histogram. Hybrid histogram is just a combination of frequency or frequency and height balance histograms. So I've seen like in 12C most of the times or the majority of the cases 12C uses hybrid histograms in place of height balanced. Um, uh, if you see here, for example, in this table T, we've got uh, the 6 different values, and this is the total count. Like 101 was repeated 8 times, and 102 was repeated 25, and so like 185, right? So that's how the data was distributed in this, right? Uh, we already know high cardinality and low cardinality, correct? Now, if you see, like in total, we have got 1,000 rows in this table T, right? So this column has six distinct values and no nulls, right? And the values are distributed evenly. This is what the optimizer knows, right? But with this information, the optimizer's cardinality estimate for the predicate, for example, if you set it val 2 equals to 105, val 2 equals to 105 equals has got 502 counts, right? So this is a very bad. I mean, we've got less number of unique entries, lot, for this value 105 for this val2 column, right? So if you select val2 equals to uh, sorry, let's consider 101 instead of val2. Let's consider 101. 101, we've got 8 counts, right? So we've got less repeated values or redundant values here for this value 101. Only 8 entries are there, right? So if you set val2 equals to 101, what it will be derived as total number of rows divided by number of distinct values. So you'll get 106. Sorry, if you divide it with this, you'll get some good number of unique entries, right? So this assume, of course, I mean, that you use 100% sample, estimate percent 100%, right, to gather the statistics. And of course, the results could be little different and less predictable if you're using a version that is older than 11G, or if you haven't yet converted to the approximate NDV. I'm not going to explain approximate NDV algorithm. It's again a little tricky, right? So and quite difficult to understand and digest at this point, which is there from 11G. So yes, coming back to the point, keeping such high cardinality in mind, Oracle, what it may try to use the full table scan here, right? And query cost will be high. But in fact, if you see, we've got only 8 entries, right? So this is where histograms come into the play. They allow us to give the optimizer, to feed the optimizer more detailed information about the distributions of value in the column, right? So now the presence of the histogram changes the formula used by the optimizer to calculate or to what? To estimate the cardinality and allow it to generate the more accurate execution plans, right? In this case, I'm talking about uh, this val2 equals to 101, right? But now I would like to discuss about the possible problems with the histogram. I mean, it's not always good to have the histogram on the top of your column, because there are certain cases where you'll see or observe in the performance has been degraded, right? Or and suboptimal plan was picked somehow due to the histograms. The first is the column values with more than 32 characters. So, and the second problem is when you have binds and you have histograms, it equivalent of having a chaos, right? Any question, any doubt? Hello?
No, Prashant, no.
No, carry on.
Okay, now let's also discuss about, just give me a second. Someone's there on the door. Just give me a second, guys. Huh?
So did Prashant say something about sharing the slides at the beginning, because I missed the beginning of the. So probably
Yes, yeah. He will. Let me remind him once again.
yeah. One is that obviously it's a lot of information, but you need to then look into the slides later on to digest the information. That's one thing. Second thing is I expect more questions from you guys. You are not asking enough questions. So please ask questions so that you can understand and digest the information in your way. For example, when you are talking about histograms, so I would like to think about histograms as more sophisticated statistics, which helps generate a better execution plan. As simple as that. And for the moment, I would not go into these details that Prashant is saying, but I would love to keep this at the back of my mind, how histograms work. And I know, of course, how it works, but from a practical standpoint, histograms, if you have histograms, it's a better quality of statistics that you are gathering, which helps to generate a better execution plan. Simple. So should I have histograms? This is what you need to ask Prashant in every case. Do I need to have? Yeah, Prashant. So
Okay.
I was just giving them a leading question.
Yes.
So do I need to have histogram in every case? It is a leading question. Then you can continue explanation.
Yeah. Of course, in most of the cases, you'll see once you have the additional statistics like histograms on the top of your columns, and and that column is now used in any of your query, you'll see you'll get a better performance, but not always. There are few exceptions. The first one, if you've got a column value that has got 32 characters. If we talk about this varchar2 value, let me enable the screen pointer. Okay. This was actually from one of the production box. I think I fixed this problem some 1.5 years back. This was on 11G release 1, I guess. So that in that case, the column value has got these many numbers. It was a varchar2 data type, and it has got 32 characters. And yeah, it was 11.2.0.4. Yes. So there is a limitation. For example, if you have a statistics on a column and a column field or a row value has got entries that is more than 32 characters, that it will be skipped by the optimizer. I actually, reached this conclusion after I checked the 10053 trace and I checked with Oracle as well. And in fact, you see some documentation available for 11G release 2 with column 30 with a limit of 32 characters. So instead of doing an index scan, it was actually doing a full table scan, all because it has actually got more than 32 character length entry in that column. So ultimately histograms were ignored and a wrong estimation was performed by the optimizer. An incorrect plan was picked and a bad access path was followed. Right, so that was one of the case. Again, I will not go into the into deep dive analysis, because if you want, I have the PDF of the entire analysis that I did that time, so I can share that with you. So that and using that, you will be able to understand what exactly was there in the 53 trace and why is that. Why, if the column value is greater than 32 characters, it didn't consider the histograms. The second is the bind plus histograms. So histograms work really cool if you got literal values, but if you have a query that uses, I mean, using histograms work really good. In fact, best for SQL statements that use literal values. But if your statement has a bind variable, right, the first time, what happens when the query is passed, Oracle will peek at the value. Are you aware about the bind peeking thing? What is bind peeking?
Prashant,
Okay.
I have one question.
Yeah.
Can you repeat one second there? What I didn't get that, Malab, but column value with more than 32 characters.
Yes. I mean, if you
I
check
didn't
here,
get.
there was this table and there was this specific column in that table which
Okay.
contains some information about the SAP product. SAP CRM was used, and every time a user connects to SAP system, SAP workflow CRM system, automatically its IP and other detail gets noted into that column. But
Okay.
few of the times what happens, this limit reaches beyond 32 characters, and there
Okay.
is a limitation for the histograms. For example, if you select the same value, for example, select all from this table SAP where ID or value equals to this value. But now, because this value has got 32 characters, then it won't consider, I mean, the optimizer will not consider the histograms. It will simply ignore it.
Okay.
But this is happening only till 11G. This situation has been now improved. I think now it is got 64 as a character length for varchars, right? So even now, if you have more characters than 32, but it should be less than 64. If it's go beyond 64, even if you're running on 12C, you will still face some problems. Histograms will not be considered by the optimizer. The second point is the bind plus histograms. If your query has bind variables, right? And you know what I mean, if you are not aware about the bind peaking thing, then I think you must go and read some good documentation. I remember Kerry Osborne has a very good note on bind peaking thing. What is this problem of bind peaking, right? So so let me explain a little bit about bind peaking. Let me try. So Oracle, what it will do, it basically peaks at the value of the bind variable to choose a plan accordingly, in short. So for example, if the same plan will be used until the SQL is repassed. For example, if you are executing a query that comes into the database for the very first time, and because and automatically optimizer peaks at the bind value, right, to get a better or a stable plan. So what it will do, it will follow the same plan until the SQL is repassed. So what will happen in this case, if the bind value, for example, was yes, for example, was 1 or y at the first time, Oracle may perform a full table scan for this query, no matter what the value you pass from them. So and the opposite may also be true. So for example, if the first query was written through the binds, and according to that query, a full index range scan should happen. But now the query bind value has been changed, and ideally it should follow a full table scan. But because it's still not repassed, and it's still there in the library cache, and bind peak was happened first time, so it will still follow the old execution plan. So ideally it should happen a full table scan, or sorry, an index range scan, but now it will still use or follow the full table scan, because the
Prashant, I have a question here, and this is
sure.
question to you.
Mm.
So when you're discussing bind peaking, why not you are not discussing adaptive cursor sharing, which is a more modern feature?
Yes, that's a very good thing, right? Right. Yes, let me talk about adaptive cursor sharing first, right? Talking about the adaptive cursor sharing, and if you guys know this version, this was there. I think, sorry, this was there in 11G as well, right? This was not a
Yes.
12C feature, right? It was
Yeah,
11.
it's
It was there in
11G.
11G, right?
Right.
So adaptive cursor sharing stepped in and forced the reevaluation of your execution plan to prevent a very slow retrieval through the index that was re-evaluated will not be happen prior to Oracle Database 11.1. Let me rephrase myself. So talking about the adaptive cursor sharing, it did not take effect and force the re-evaluation of the execution plan, right? So I'm talking in reference to the first case which I just discussed, right? So the execution plan was not changed to a full table scan at this point. So that is the risk that you take if you allow histogram to exist on the columns, right? Because that have unequal distributions of the value, and bind variables are not in the where clause that references the column, and bind variable peaking is enabled, right? So if you know, like optim peak user bind is actually used to control the bind variable peaking stuff, right? So adaptive cursor sharing did not take effect and will actually for the reevaluation of the execution plan. Are you getting me? Gets confused, right? I'm actually talking in reference to the example that I just used. When we have bind peaking happening and we have histograms as well. Take your time. I think, first of all, it's important to understand, the adaptive cursor sharing and then the concept of bind peaking and what exactly are the histograms. Putting these three things all together, once you do not have much clarity on these things, you won't be able to, get much what I just
Because
explained,
a lot
right?
of things
Exactly. So
difficult to
first,
digest.
right, because these are pretty broad topics, right? Because I was giving a reference to the example which I just used, where the statement was, uses a bind variable, and the query goes through the very first time to the database, and first time it got passed, right? And then at that point, the bind peaking got happened. So I was taking example of this when you got val2 equals to 101. Right. So the first time when it happens with val2 equals to 101, an index range scan happened. But next time you change the bind variable value to 105, and now you've got 502. So in this case, ideally a full table scan should happen. But in the first time the query got executed with this value 10 or val2 101. So in this case, of course, index range scan will be very good. But if you force val2 equals to 105, where the value is repeated and not much unique, then in that case, index full scan, or sorry, um, full table scan might be efficient. Are you getting me?
Not so clear.
Yeah, of course. This is not that easy to digest, I know.
Right.
Saibal sir, would you like to help?
Actually, I was trying to. I had written an article so on adaptive cursor sharing. I was trying to find that, so I just pasted the link here. So
Okay,
anyway,
great.
okay, so that's there. People can read that. But typically, what Prashant was saying, and I think this makes sense, is that when you use a bind variable, so typically what is a bind variable is you do not put the hard code the value like select star from EMP where employee number is equal to, you do not put the employee number. Instead, you put a variable there. So once that variable is put, what happens is Oracle generates an execution plan, and then at the last point, when the value is put at runtime, it actually converts that execution plan into a full-fledged execution plan because it has the value. So think of it, if the execution plan needed 10 steps, 9 steps was created before because it's common, and the 10th step when you actually supplied the value was created. So the good thing is that if the value is, let's say the employee ID is 100 and 101, the same execution plan will be good enough. Like the data will be near about.
Right, val2 if you set 101 where we have 8 counts, right?
Yeah. So it would be good. The same plan will be good. But people have to understand that if I have an employee ID like say 3000, then that number may exist on a different block and may require a different plan. But what happens is if Oracle doesn't understand that, it will continue with the old plan. And the old plan will be suboptimal in this case because the value is 3000 and it requires a very different plan. So initially Oracle had this bind picking. So after it made these wrong decisions of going with a wrong plan twice or thrice, it tried to change it and come to the correct plan. This was bind picking, but it was very unsophisticated. So what happened was later on, it actually did something which is more like, think of intelligence coming into the system, where Oracle was able to identify that, yes, now the values are changing, so we need to change the plans. And we can merge poorer plans together to get a correct plan. So this is where actually what Prashant is trying to hint at is when you have this adaptive cursor sharing and the fact that Oracle needs all pieces of information, including histogram, to do this adaptive cursor sharing better. So for the moment, I think three things need to stand out for you. One, you need to understand adaptive cursor sharing, which is there from 11G. Second is you need to have a basic understanding of histogram, which Prashant very well explained. And number three is how this histogram actually works. Prashant is explaining. Maybe it's a little complicated, but you need to take it step by step. So what Prashant is doing is giving you a lot of pointers to do a further reading. Don't take this as a complete, in 2 hours, he's going to give you a complete capsule for everything. So what he's giving is a very nice way of taking this forward. So I see the value addition at that point. Okay, Prashant, you go ahead. You complete this part, and then we will